Hello, it's me, Homolabs. I'm still alive. This is definitely not an AI reproducing my voice. Beep. Anyway, I don't normally do this kind of update videos, but I wanted to take this occasion to update you about where have I been, what's going to happen with the content on this channel, and also share some of my plans for the future. So, if you just want a quick TLDR version, no, I did not quit. The reason for my absence was because, well, I got back surgery and it took me a long time to be back in shape and make content again. And no, I am not quitting Honkai Impact 3rd, but I want to diversify my content and make it more than just lore. I would like to cover news, make more opinion and discussion based content and try to prioritize entertainment. This doesn't mean that I won't cover lore, but it will be more than just that. I also want to start covering other games besides the Honkai series, mainly Wuthering Waves, but I'm not sure if I'll do it on this channel or make a new one for it. I don't have a schedule yet, but I'm slowly getting back to work. So yes, this is the short version. Now, for anyone who's interested in learning more about what happened and my state of mind going forward, here comes the long version. Those of you who follow my channel for a long time may know that I suffered from back issues. Mainly, I had a herniated disc that was compressing my sciatic nerve and would often cause flare-ups that were very painful and made me barely able to walk. I had this issue for about 3 years now. Last year around May, I had a new flare-up that just wouldn't go away. Usually conventional treatment would work, but this time it didn't. So in order to allow my nerve to properly heal, my neurosurgeon recommended a decompression surgery. And trust me, this was my last option. I tried everything I could think of, but due to the nature of the herniation, it didn't work. So back in February this year, I finally got the surgery. From a technical standpoint, the surgery was a success. My doctor managed to clean up everything around the nerve and right now it isn't compressed anymore. But in cases like this, the surgery is usually the easiest part. What's hard is the recovery. Right after surgery I was feeling even worse than before, and that's because the doctor worked near the nerve, which caused it to flare up even more. And if you ever dealt with nerve-related pain and nerve damage in your life, then you must know that nerves take a long time to heal. The first month after surgery I wasn't able to do anything besides laying in bed and walking a bit around the house. It took me about 2 months to be back in the state I was prior to the surgery. It was hard. I had to reteach my body how to do simple movements, how to sit again, how to walk, and how to use my muscles again. And even so, I am still far from being 100% fine. Nerve damage does not heal easily, and both my surgeon and recovery doctors say that it can take up to 1 year to feel the full benefits of the surgery. And even then, they cannot guarantee that I will be 100% pain-free, but I should be a lot better than before. So you can see how this took a big toll on my mental health. I mean, I was in a pretty bad shape even before. The last 3 years of my life were hard. And even after surgery, there is still a lot of work until I can fully return to a normal life. Part of my absence on social media was because I wanted to focus on my mental health together with my physical health and just disconnect. Especially since all you see on social media these days is people arguing over the most silly things and being toxic. And I really don't want that in my life right now. I also started taking some meds for my depression and going to therapy, and that helped a lot with my mental health. I realized that even though I was in pain, I was blocking myself from doing things that I could have done and from living my life and do things that I want. It's frightening how much our brain and mental state can influence how we perceive pain and how we feel. The moment I started to be more relaxed and try to ignore the discomfort, I realized that I was capable of a lot more than I thought. This doesn't mean that I'm reckless, just that I'm trying my best to learn how not to let pain and fear take control over my life. I'm sure that anyone who dealt with chronic pain during their lives knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's it for my health update. Let's talk about content. I am sure that this is what you're most interested in. So, Honkai Impact 3rd content. Like I said in the beginning, Honkai Impact 3rd content will continue. I saw some people online saying that I stopped making HI3 content because Part 2 sucks. No, in fact, if you follow me on Twitter, you know how much I like and praised Part 2. It was just an unfortunate coincidence that my health issues became worse when Part 2 released and couldn't cover it properly. But Honkai Impact 3rd content is here to stay. So don't worry, I didn't quit the game and I will continue to make content for it. And besides lore content, I really want to try to make more diverse videos like beta news, commentary videos and entertaining videos like the Hunger Games simulator I did a while back. I kinda realized that while I love the lore of this game and enjoy making content on it, I backed myself into a corner with it and became strictly a lore YouTuber, which isn't bad, but I often had many video ideas that I wanted to do in the past and ended up not making them because I had to prioritize lore content. And I want to change that. I want to make things that are fun for me and for you at the same time. Because at the end of the day, my main reason behind making content was always to entertain people, not to cover lore. And again, this doesn't mean that lore content is gone. It will still be here, but I will try to do other things as well. Oh, and speaking of diversifying content, you may have noticed that Honkai Impact 3 lost a lot of steam and many people who played the game moved on with the end of part 1. And to be honest, this is something I also noticed in my views that I get on my videos. They are a lot less than they were before the end of part 1. And this is normal, the game is old and its main story that involves the characters that people started playing the game for is kinda done, but not really, because part 2 is not really a new story but more of a sequel, but Hoyo marketed part 2 as a new story when in fact it's more complicated. The point is, people left. And story is just one of the reasons, the other being that there are many more modern gacha games that came out recently that divided the player base even more. So I feel like if I want to keep growing as a content creator and maybe reach a day when I can do this full time, I kinda have to cover other games. But one thing about me is that I need to be passionate about the games I make content on. And that's why I struggled so hard in the past to cover anything besides the Honkai series, because I didn't really care about the other games that much. But I finally feel like I found a game that I am passionate about enough to cover on my channel, and that is Wuthering Waves. Honestly, after the 2.0 update and Rinascita, I wholeheartedly believe that Wuwa is the best gacha game on the market at the moment, and I have been getting the same feeling I had when I first started to play Honkai Impact 3. So I really want to start covering it. I'm not sure what type of content I will make on the game, lore, commentary, news, or all of them, but I want to start doing it in the near future. I am not even sure if I should do it on this channel or make a new one. Maybe it's best to keep this channel for the Honkai series and make a new one specifically for Wuwa, given the constant arguing and discord between Hoyo and Kuro players. I don't know. What do you think? Would you be interested in Wuwa content on this channel, or are you here for Honkai only and would like me to keep this channel clean and make a new one? Let me know in the comments. I'll also make a poll in the future to see what people think. Oh, and I realized that I haven't mentioned HSR. I will still cover Honkai Star Rail, don't worry, especially in the videos that are about the Honkai series and the Honkai universe. It's a given, I can't really do those without mentioning HSR. And like I said in my first impression about Amphoria's video, I enjoyed the current story a lot. Now, to be honest, I have not played the game much recently. I just started to catch up with my gacha games. I am already caught up with Honkai Impact 3 and Wuwa, and currently playing through the 3.1 story in HSR. So it will be a while until I am caught up, but I will continue making HSR videos when I am done. But keep in mind, I will still prioritize Honkai Impact 3 over it and cover HSR when I have more time or I really want to talk about something. Or if Hoyo wants to sponsor me again, nudge nudge, my DMs are open, Hoyo. I realized that at some point I was playing too many gacha games and keeping up with all of them became more of a chore than a pleasure. I was playing Honkai Impact 3, Wuwa, HSR, ZZZ, Genshin and PGR all at the same time. And after this break I realized that this was ridiculous and that I can't keep up. Maybe I could if I just logged in from time to time and did the main story, but I am the type of player who, if I play a game, I want to do everything that the game has to offer, not just play it once or twice a patch. It's simply how I play games, so I can keep up with 6 games. Because of this, I decided to drop Genshin, PGR and ZZZ. And I repeat, not because I think they are bad, but because I am the least passionate about them. I will keep Honkai Impact 3 and Wuthering Waves as my main games and solely play HSR for the story, since like I said in the past, I don't really like HSR as a game, I like it as a story. If it wasn't a Honkai game, to be honest, I would have dropped it a long time ago. So, these are the news regarding my content and channel. Right now I am working on 2 Honkai impacted videos and an HSR one, but I can't give you an exact schedule. As I continue my recovery, I will try to post content as often as I can, but I want to still prioritize my health and I want to spend less time in front of a screen and go out more, enjoy life and ease back into things, especially since summer is around the corner. I'm also thinking about getting an editor for my WoW and HSR content, since as much as I love editing, it's a very time consuming process that doesn't give you many benefits. Many people really don't care about it. So I would rather pour time into the content itself rather than editing, and by content I mean the research, script and what the video is about. So, if you're an editor and you're familiar with the games I mentioned, hit me up on Twitter or Discord at HomoLabs and let's have a talk. Anyway, thank you all for all the support and warm messages these past few months. I am sorry that I took such a long break, but I hope things will slowly get better. This was a very hard time for me. I had many more issues in my private life and your support helped me a lot, especially with the sponsored content I have done the past year. That extra help allowed me to have much more peace of mind. I also have other plans I want to start working on as I get better, like finally starting to work on my web novel this year, but those are unrelated to the channel and the content here, so I won't go into details. Anyway, thank you again, and I'll see you around.